It's KFI AM 640, and you're listening to The Conway Show on demand on the iHeartRadio app. Perfect for Thanksgiving, because nothing says family time like hiding in your room and listening to KFI. It was quickly the audience's favorite as well, and he is back. You know him from Loveline with Adam Carolla. Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Drew Pinsky. Dr. Drew, how you, bub?
I'm good, man. Good to hear your voice.
But I always love watching you, whether it's on Fox or CNN. But now I'm starting to enjoy you on with Carolla. Is that a new thing I've missed for a while, where you guys do a weekly show?
It is not a new thing that you have missed for a while. We've been doing it for like 12 years.
Damn it.
People are finding it now.
Okay.
So it's great. We're back. So here we are.
How come I haven't found it though before? How come I'm just getting hooked up now? Why have you buried it?
I think I don't know that it was buried so much as Adam has been complaining about the same stuff for 12 years, and now it's starting to be quite relevant.
Okay. But I saw the recent one where you're talking about Tylenol, and you have the same recommendation I do, and I'm glad that we agree on this, that when women are pregnant, they should try to take nothing.
Yes. I completely agree. I mean, the chromatin is open. The developmental process is extremely complex and delicate and prone to error, and you don't want to do anything that can contribute to that error. Here's one of the great ironies in all of this story. One, of course, I think people are becoming increasingly aware that the Tylenol manufacturers themselves have been worried about Tylenol during pregnancy. It's gone back and forth, but they've shown, so a course of 10 years, some real serious concern. They called it a heavy concern. The other thing that's really an irony is the American College of Physicians. I was doing my board reviews a couple months ago, and the rheumatology section, in the course of that review, they recommend that only one medication be considered to be continued during pregnancy.
Really?
For the lupus patients, this one medicine should stay on this medicine because it's so benign and so inert, and that medicine is hydroxychloroquine.
Oh, you got to be kidding.
I'm not kidding.
The one where where any doctor recommended during COVID, they want to take his license from him. That's the medication?
Exactly.
Oh, my God.
So benign. I've been using it for decades for my lupus patients. I knew there was nothing wrong with it. The fact that pharmacists weren't allowing doctors to prescribe it, they literally were blocking the prescribing. People's licenses are being revoked. It is one of the it's now it is literally more inert than Tylenol per the American College of Physicians.
It's unbelievable. Dr. Drew Pinsky is with us. I saw something really disturbing online, and I wanted to get your opinion. I know when Donald Trump came out and said, hey, don't take Tylenol, and then, the other doctors were, didn't go as far as Donald or as President Trump did. But he said, I can say this, don't take it, don't take anything, don't take Tylenol. And then I can't tell you how many videos I saw the next 3 or 4 days with women who were videotaping themselves pregnant and popping a Tylenol just to stick it to President Trump. I couldn't believe that.
When I saw that, I thought to myself, wow, we've got to really get on making the Trump derangement syndrome a diagnostic category, because now it's causing harm to others.
Right.
Literally, they are willing to risk harming their babies to stick it to Donald Trump. It's the most bizarre thing. People will look back on this very unkindly, and it makes me increasingly concerned about how casually women are taking a developing fetus inside their body. I mean, it makes me wonder if there's some sort of weird shift that people have taken. Maybe it's the casualness about abortion. I don't know what it is, but the fact that somebody could even contemplate consciously putting a developing fetus in harm's way is just phenomenal.
Dr. Drew is with us. My wife is not a hoarder, but she's a hoarder. But she also does. She also saves a lot of things that turn out to be, valuable in the future. For instance, she kept every one of her medical records and every note while she was pregnant in 2005. Wow. And it was nice to go through and look at it. But in those notes, she discovered yesterday that her doctor, and she had a fever, during her pregnancy, her doctor underlined, please do not take Tylenol.
Interesting. A doctor, an obstetrician might elect to prescribe Tylenol. And look, all these things, the CDC is there to make recommendations to physicians. That's it. That's what their job is, to advise us and give us data to keep us abreast of trends in infectious diseases and whatnot. They are not telling you what to do. They're not taking away Tylenol. They're not giving you Tylenol. They're just saying that there's a signal. We're going to alert doctors that signal might suggest that it's something you want to avoid. But guess what? If the doctor thinks it's important for you to take the Tylenol because the fever can risk the pregnancy too, if the doctor believes you need it, you will be recommended to take the damn Tylenol. The fact that we're even having these discussions is bizarre. This is all the aftermath of COVID. It really is.
Yeah.
That none of this, the press, the government never should have been involved during the pandemic. The physicians should have just done their job, but public health and CDC centralized authority, and it became an unbelievable disaster.
And you made a great point when you were on with Adam Carolla in your last podcast. If you're a 19-year-old healthy male or female and you're not pregnant and you have a fever, go ahead and take Tylenol.
Tylenol is good.
That's right.
Now, people got very weird about it. It's also not an anti-inflammatory. Technically, it's an antipyretic and analgesic. It's a very good, very safe medicine. But it's worth remembering. I worked 35 years in a psychiatric hospital. The most lethal suicide gestures I saw were with Tylenol. I saw one guy get complete and total irreversible liver failure and die from eight Tylenol.
Wow.
And 15 to 20 in a single ingestion will do it to just about anybody. And once that takes hold over the course of about 72 hours, there is no turning back. It is a fatal event.
Oh, my God. I hope people know that. I mean, I didn't know that. I hope that word gets out there.
Yeah, it's important. Tylenol can, and if you're an alcoholic, Tylenol is less well tolerated.
Easy.
It's a hepatotoxic substance in certain situations. But you're bringing up an important point here, is that we have this weird thing in this country now where medications are supposed to make life better, make us flourish. Pharmacology is there to intervene, so physicians can intervene in disabling and life-threatening illness. Period. If the risk reward, if we cannot significantly alter the course of a dangerous condition, we should not be using pharmacology. And there are plenty of things we use that are dangerous, but the risk reward is there because the disease itself is more dangerous. But this idea that medicine's going to make life better or make humans flourish, we are on the wrong course.
Dr. Drew, can you stay with us for another segment, or do you got to run?
I can say.
Okay, excellent. All right. Dr. Drew is with us. He is the absolute best. And we come back, I want to talk to him about Charlie Kirk, also COVID, and also I had a story to tell you about Dr. Drew when he used to come on with us on KLSX to prove, just to show what kind of guy he is. We're live on KFI AM 640. Dr. Drew Pinsky is with us.
You're listening to Tim Conway Jr. on demand from KFI AM 640.
Dr. Drew, before we get into COVID, I want to ask you a personal question. I grew up...
Wait. Before the personal question, okay. I've got to put a little code on a promotion we had there for the Union Rescue Mission. Andy Bales down there is the most impactful institution downtown on homelessness. And, of course, the government won't acknowledge them because they're a faith-based organization, but please support them. I heard someone is going to jump off a building for them. Please support them. They do an extraordinary job.
Okay, wait. What is it? It's the... what mission is it?
Union Rescue Mission. It's one of the downtown missions, and they've been there for 100 years, and they actually make a difference on homelessness. They actually treat them. They don't keep them in the streets. It's just what we're doing is the exact opposite of what we should be doing, but they do it right down there.
Right.
Union Rescue Mission.
And running the risk of swearing, it's an effing disgrace that they're not supported just because they're bringing more religion into, not necessarily forcing it on them, just religious-based.
It's a faith-based organization,
it's
therefore they're forbidden. So it's ridiculous. Everything at our disposal should be deployed. Are you kidding me?
100%.
It's a humanitarian crisis.
But I wanted to ask you a personal question because I basically grew up, listening to you talk about the triplets. I want to get an update. How old are those kids now? What are they doing? I haven't heard from them since Loveline.
So they're in their mid-30s,
Oh,
believe it or not. I'm at my son's house in Irvine, babysitting his 8-month-old daughter.
Wow.
And they're
for
pregnant
you.
again, so they're going to be 2 more. He's an attorney and doing very well. My other son is becoming a mental health professional, and my daughter's a writer, a Columbia-trained writer. So she has a certain point of view that Columbia made sure of. But she's very, very, very talented, very talented.
I can't believe they're 30. I was going to say 19, maybe 20. Oh, my God.
Sorry, my friend.
Good for you.
They were probably that old last time I saw you.
Yeah, probably they were. Let me tell you, and again, before we get into COVID, I remember when you used to come on with us, you used to come on our show at KLSX, and then you drive over to do Loveline. I remember on more than one occasion, somebody called, they were under distress, and you could hear it in their voice. And during the commercial break, you spent the entire commercial break talking to them, giving them your cell phone number, and really giving them great advice and really caring about them. And I don't think that people saw that side of you as often as I did, but it's terrific, buddy.
Well, that's very kind. I mean, if I'm not doing my job, what am I doing? And I still do it to this day. I'm not doing the psychiatric stuff. I'm not running an addiction program. I'm still doing general medicine. And I never did I imagine all that time on the radio would we end up here where we are now. This is not what we intended.
Right. All right. Let's talk about COVID. Do you recommend the shot? Who do you recommend it for? What's the word?
So keep in mind, you've got to have a little nuance in your thinking, everybody.
Okay.
Doctors need to make a risk-reward analysis for everything we do, absolutely everything. During the darker hours of Alpha and Delta, it was absolutely appropriate to take real risk with the vaccine. It was a miracle we had a vaccine so quickly. And in my elderly patients in particular, over the age of 70, I think we helped them. I had only one severe vaccine reaction. Of course, the VAERS report I submitted was completely ignored. But I had one reaction, and the rest people had relatively mild COVID. Once we hit the Omicron era, the use of the vaccine was less clear. And we started seeing significant side effects, particularly in younger males, where the need for a vaccine in the days of the variants of Omicron for a young, healthy person, they are not going to be hospitalized. They're not going to die. There's a zero probability. There's a non-zero probability that they're going to get myocarditis, which is a very serious condition. So there's that issue in the young people. The elderly, many of my elderly patients still choose to get it. However, I no longer know what we're doing. It's not clear that it's doing anything, and the variants for which it is specifically directed are not in this region right now.
Wow.
So I don't understand quite what we're doing, but some of my patients still choose to get it.
All right. And then without going into great detail, because I know it's a very complicated question, are we any closer to what is causing the explosion in autism?
We're closer. I mean, obviously there was a signal around Tylenol. That was a significant issue, and people need to pay attention with that. And I know Jay Bhattacharya and obviously Mehmet Oz very well. I communicate with them regularly. They feel like they're on the trail of some interesting things. I think vaccines are going to be implicated. Exactly how, it's not clear. I think they rushed to that press conference a little bit, this is my humble opinion, to give some highlights, some headline that they could hang their hat on, because they weren't quite ready on the rest of the material yet. It takes a long time to do this science, and they have a commitment to do it right, and I trust those guys to do it.
And but the big news over the last couple of weeks was Charlie Kirk. Did you ever meet him? Did you ever work with him?
I did. I interviewed him a couple of times. He was exactly as he has been portrayed. I was not very familiar with his turning point. I just, I knew kind of who he was, and I interviewed him. He's a good guy, but he has had a major impact. And I've talked to many people, including Corolla, who were in Phoenix during the event, and they said it was the memorial, and they said it was like nothing they'd ever experienced.
Wow. I tell you, the way that his death is affecting the younger generation, it is absolutely their JFK of this generation.
I think so. And, we've gone through a period. Look, there's been a very significant narcissistic turn in this country. And when you have a lot of people with narcissistic burden, you tend to get mobs and you tend to get scapegoating. And we're in the midst of a big scapegoating problem, largely brought on by the rhetoric of people calling other people non-human, fascist, Hitler, you fill in the blank.
Right.
It becomes almost, if you're a patriot, it's almost your obligation to do something. If I believe that stuff, I feel like I should do something too. But if you're a narcissist, you're scapegoating, you're forming mobs, you get in these social media and Reddit rooms where you're convinced of your sense of reality, and these things happen. And the thing about a scapegoat is they can flip into a martyr. And I think that's exactly what happened with Charlie Kirk. And he's obviously motivating a lot of spiritual transformation and change.
Yeah, and they've had 125,000 requests to start an on-campus branch of Turning Point USA, which I think is terrific.
Phenomenal.
When I was a kid, I think I had 5 or 6 vaccines, inoculations, immunizations. Yep. What is it now? Yep. Is it 130?
It's close to 100, but this is back to what I was saying earlier. Look, I was raised by an old family practitioner, and he would never let me take any medication ever. I remember the first time I took an antibiotic, I was 15,
wow.
And he came home with some sponsors with some samples, and he goes, "All right, here we go. I mean, your pediatrician wants you to do it. I think it's a terrible idea, but go ahead." He is rolling over in his grave with all of it. Everything we do has risk. Everything.
Right.
And we have lost track of that. We are so enthusiastic about our medical advances that we assume it's only going to make a positive change. We are not contemplating what we are doing. There's downside to every intervention, particularly pharmacology and interventions that manipulate our immune system. Of course, there's going to be a downside.
One more question.
We just need to be sure the risk is worth it.
One more question. I'll let you go. There were 6 kids in our family growing up, and I used to hate getting shots because my arm would be on fire for the next 5 days, and I hated it. I couldn't stand going to the doctor. So we went to get our shots. It was the fall of 1971 or whatever it was. And while the nurse was giving my 4 brothers and my sister a shot, I took one of those round Band-Aids and put it on my arm. And she said, "Did everyone?" She said, "Did everyone get it?" And I said, "Yeah." And I pointed to my arm. She goes, "Oh, I didn't think I gave it to you. I guess I did. I missed that vaccine or that inoculation." But I don't know which one it was.
Destined for a career in radio. But there are questions about the childhood vaccine schedule. I mean, hepatitis B. I was around. My residency director was very involved in the research. I was there during the research, and we were interested in intervening on maternal to baby transmission of Hep B in China. Wow. It is still primarily in Asia that this exists. It's almost only in IV drug users and Asian immigrants that it exists in this country. And guess what? Those people are tested for hepatitis B. And that baby, if the mom has hepatitis B, will get the vaccine. Why are we giving it to every baby in the country? It's bizarre.
It's crazy. Buddy, I really appreciate coming on. Would love to have you, on every couple of months. The audience really enjoys hearing your voice.
All right, good. It's good to hear yours, and I'd love to join you. Thanks,
man. I appreciate it. All right, there goes Dr. Drew Pinsky. Don't forget, he mentioned the rescue mission, downtown, the Union Rescue Mission. We are supporting them with Neil Saavedra and Amy King jumping off a building and scaling. I don't know. I think it's the Universal Sheraton up at Universal Studios. So if you can support them doing that, that would be great. All right, we've got some breaking news here. Body discovered near the 210 freeway in Azusa. Come back and see what that's all about.
You're listening to Tim Conway Jr. on demand from KFI AM 640.
You bring the turkey, we'll bring the nonsense. Happy Thanksgiving from The Conway Show. Jay Leno is sitting with us, which is really cool. This is like a, growing up watching The Tonight Show and you taking over for Carson. And then for you to be sitting here right now is unbelievable.
Well, thank you. It shows you how much I've fallen. Unbelievable. One day you're on top, next day you're looking at the Chick-fil-A out the window. Yeah.
That's right. There is a Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, the Chick-fil-A out the window. That's right.
Let's talk about favorite restaurant. Your Italian favorite, and you also cook.
Well, there used to be a great one on Magnolia. It's across the street from Pinocchio. Pinocchio's is very good.
Pinocchio's really good.
I like Pinocchio.
The guy across the street was great.
Bella Vista.
Oh, my God.
That was good, and he got fed up with something, whatever. But that was fair. I'll tell you a funny story. Somebody in my crew goes to Italy, and they go to Famari, which is the village where my grandfather came from. So they go, Jay, we're in Famari, and everybody there looks like you. I go, I know, that's where my grandfather came from. They came to America. Okay. My grandfather was born in 1857.
Wow.
Okay. So I am. Okay. So he meets the mayor. So he invites the mayor, when you're in America, come to the Tonight Show. 6 months later, Jay, the mayor from what? The mayor comes in after the show. He looks like an Italian mayor. He's got the little hat that's too small for his head. The suit, the buttons are too far apart because he's wearing it too late. He's kind of fat. He goes, Mr. Leno, the mayor of Frumari with your grandfather. Well, nice to meet you, sir. He goes, listen, we want to build a statue of you and your grandfather to put in our town square. I said, I'm not really a statue. No, you Tomatis, from humble beginnings, your grandfather, his grandson becomes a huge star. To our village, it would mean so much to have the statue of you and your grandfather in our town square. He says, will you give us permission? I said, well, all right, yes, thank you. He goes, yes, good. Now, the basic statue is $75,000. If you want to be on the hill looking down, it's $125. I go, I said, I don't really know. No, I believe in it. I mean, somebody has to pay for it. I go, I know, I understand. I said, I appreciate it. It couldn't be the most Italian thing. Oh yeah. Just hilarious.
That's wait, your grandfather was born before the Civil War?
Before the Civil War.
Wow.
Died in 1957, yeah.
Oh, he's almost 100 years old.
Yeah. My dad was born in 1910. Yeah.
Wow. You know what? That's great genes. You're going to be around a long time.
Well, we'll see.
I was talking about, you had a great line. We were talking about during the commercial break. If a lot of people have these catalytic converters stolen off their car.
Right.
And if you take it off your own car, this is what it's a problem.
It's a federal offense because it's a government mandate, blah, blah, blah. So you take catalytic converter, it's a $10,000 fine to mess with the emission system on your car. Okay.
$10,000 fine if you do it.
If you do it, yes. But if your catalytic converter is stolen by a thief, it's a misdemeanor for him.
Oh, my God.
So you would actually, what you should do is hire a thief to take your catalytic converter off. Yeah.
Right. And what do they get? The guy that steals the catalytic converter, they're $3,000 to replace.
Oh, they get like 10. I had a friend of mine. You just need all these seedy people when you're in show business. And this guy used to steal cars. And he would say, what do you think you get for a stolen Mercedes? I'm thinking, what, 1,000, 10,000? No, $75.
What?
Yeah. And he said, I had to steal 2 or 3 a night to make enough money. But, and then they sell it to a shop, and he sells it for less, and until every piece of the car is gone, And that's what it is. That's what it is.
It's hard to sell them nowadays because they're all numbered.
Yeah, and catalytic converters also, it's illegal to sell them, so you got to sell them to someone who knows he's buying. So he's committing a crime by buying it from you. So he's not going to pay you anything for it. Yeah, it's a terrible thing.
But up until recently, fire engines didn't have the catalytic converters. Now they all do. What's the advantage of not having one?
Well, in the old days when emissions was not as computer oriented as it is now, and they couldn't regulate it quite as well. If you took the catalytic converter off your car, your engine ran better because it ran a little cooler, didn't have to be quite so lean, so you got better mileage and more power. Fire engines have to perform at a certain standard, so they were exempt for years until they came up with modern fire engines with the more up-to-date equipment, So now they all have catalytic converters. Yeah. Even motorcycles do. So.
Is your garage in L.A. or in the Valley? Or?
It's in Burbank. Right,
it's in Burbank.
Burbank Airport, yeah.
Oh, near the airport. Okay,
right. Yeah.
Do you have somebody maintain it for you? I mean, somebody keeps it clean?
Well, I have people who work there. I keep it clean.
You're there? Are you there every day?
I'm there every day, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it's my Malibu beach house.
I heard you never sell one of those cars. You only give them away.
Well, I don't like the selling. No, I like all my cars. I have all my cars.
Is the whole garage and everything expensive to insure? It's got to be.
Duh. Yeah.
I mean, like hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Yeah, that's probably correct. Yeah. I think that's fair to say.
You never sell a car?
No, I just like.
Do you ever buy them anymore?
Oh, yeah.
You're still buying cars.
You know something? I watch hoarders and go, I don't see the problem. I mean, there's still a path to the bedroom. Look, the guy can get into the bathroom. Look, you just go around through the thing. I don't have
Do you have electric cars?
I do have electric. I got a 1909 Baker electric. I got a 1914 Detroit electric. They had electric before you had gas. In fact, in the year 1907, 8, 9, a third of the cars were steam, a third were electric, and a third were gas. And there was a battle which one was going to win. And we're kind of going through that now. I think the next big player is going to be hydrogen. That'll be the next one to come.
I didn't know this until recently. I was watching YouTube or TikTok, where I get all my information from.
Obviously.
But the brownstones in Manhattan were built up 3 or 4 feet, and you had stairs because when they were built, the streets were all filled with horse crap.
Right, that's right.
And people were tired of that.
That's where the word dashboard comes from. Dash was another word for manure.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
They would put a board in front, so when the horses kicked up manure, it would hit the board. It would hit the dashboard.
Oh, is that right?
That is absolutely the best piece of trivia of the
so
night.
then cars came along. Then you had an engine in front. Now the dashboard obviously just holds the gauges, but that's
right. And as you said, I think last time you were on, it was a great trade-off from, the horses filled with, horse crap. And the alternative was a puff of blue smoke.
That's right. I mean, that seemed like, this is so much better than having 6 tons of manure in your 60 tons of manure every day in New York City.
Do you remember your dad probably did this, maybe your grandfather? My grandfather used to do this in Cleveland. When he would go to change the oil in his car, he'd put 2 tires up on the curb and then undo the screw there, the spigot or whatever holds the oil in, and then the oil goes right into the gutter.
Yeah. It goes back to the earth where it came from. That's that's what people say. It goes right back. That's the beauty of it. It goes back to the earth. You see, it's a recycling. Yeah.
All right, Jay, thank you for coming by.
Thanks, you guys. Thanks for having me on, gentlemen.
All right, thank you, sir. I really appreciate it.
You're listening to Tim Conway Jr. on demand from KFI AM 640.
Stuff your face, loosen the pants, and kick back with stuff we did over the last year or so. Jay Leno is with us. Jay, what would you do with $1,000?
$1,000? Can you imagine? First of all, I would get $10 a year for
you take the
many years
you
it
take
was.
the payout.
Yeah. I do the payout because you get it all at once. You're going to go crazy. So that's what I do.
Do you buy lottery tickets?
No, that's the stupidest thing in the world. Idiots to buy lottery tickets.
I remember, Jay, it was Adam Carolla was talking about a woman who went into a 7-Eleven in a wheelchair, oxygen tanks, and she's rolling in. She goes, "Give me a super lotto ticket." And he's like, "What? How could that possibly improve your life? It's almost over." And she's rooting for $400 million.
She's hoping for a late inning rally on her life.
When you were here, when the John and Ken show was still the John and Ken show,
right?
I remember you came on. You were on for about a half hour, very funny, and I think it was still during the Tonight Show days. And then you left in a steam car, and they were complaining.
First of all, a steam car runs on water vapor. Okay, so it goes, and it's a cold day, so whoosh, plumes of steam. He's going, Leno's car is polluting. It's just polluting everywhere, just putting noxious gases. And we got to do away with that. Shouldn't be allowed. I'm going, hey, I was just on your show.
It's a steam car.
It's a steam car.
Carolla, you're good friends with Carolla.
Yes, I know Carolla.
He has another funny line. He said that in 200 years from now, some kid in 8th grade will do a paper on Jay Leno. And Jay Leno died in 2072 in a steam car accident, and he'll get a fail on it, because steam cars went out 200 years before that.
That's right. That's correct.
Is Carolla's got a garage kind of like yours, does he?
Yeah, he likes cars. He collects mostly race cars and things.
So, so in terms of your garage and your garage, it seems like, and this I get from your shows and watching YouTube, like these various stories that go with the car. I mean,
right.
You sort of like cars that have a history.
Cars that have a funny story.
Yeah. He likes race cars, you're saying.
Yeah, I like cars that...
What's the most valuable one you have?
Well, it's probably McLaren F1 because that's a very valuable car. But
what's the most sentimental one?
Well, my 55 Buick, that was the first car I bought when I came to California. I flew out here to California. I was sitting at my apartment in Boston, and I was like... And I had friends that wanted to be comedians or singers, but they were working as waiters or waitresses. And then they couldn't go to auditions because they had to work. And I didn't want to be in that position. I wanted to make my living as a comedian if I could. I said, you know something? I got a plane to go to California. So I called the airline, the flight, whatever it is. Okay, I got on. Okay. I landed at LAX. I need a car. So I see the Penny Saver. So I go to the Penny Saver. It's a 55 Buick. I see, they go, where's Winchester? It's about 3 miles? Okay. So I call the guy, is that car still for sale? Yeah, it is. Cab, take me to this address in Winchester. I get there, It looked okay. And I thought, well, if I don't buy it, I got to take a cab back to the airport and then take a cab to, I don't know anybody here. So I buy it. So, and I was like, how much is it? $350. I'll give you $345. Okay. Was not really a good, Right. So, okay. So I got the car, and it was a big car, so I could live in the car. So I did.
Oh,
I lived in the car.
Is that right? For how long?
For a while.
Not still.
Well, you know what I would do? And people find this, it doesn't seem unusual to me. I would search the paper for open houses. So I go to open house, and it'd be like Sunday, noon to 4. So I get there at 3:30, and I look around. This is very nice. And then I'd say, okay, thank you very much. Okay. I'd shut the door, and then I'd go in like the hall closet, and I'd just stand there. And I'd wait maybe 45 minutes, an hour, and the realtor would leave, and I'd live in the house for 2 or 3 days.
That's great.
Because nobody would.
Have you ever talked about that on
I've never heard that.
I've never heard that story.
I have once in a while, and it was because in those days houses didn't. This is the 70s.
Right.
Houses didn't have alarms, and I didn't steal anything, or I didn't,
You were just looking for a warm place
so one
to
day,
sleep.
One day I was there was a house on Coldwater Canyon. Oh, this is a nice house. It turned out it belonged to one of the Beach Boys. We didn't know which one, but he was selling it. So I'm in the house, same thing, and I'm sleeping, and I hear the next room. Here's the master bedroom, right? And the wife walks in and goes, oh, there's someone in the bed. There's no one living here. There's someone in that bed. Then the realtor went, all right, get out. Well, can I get dressed? Get out of the house. I'm calling the police. Excuse me, I got to snuck out. Yeah, but that was really the only time I got caught.
That's great.
Then I lived in a beautiful house up in Beechwood. A lot of great houses in L.A. It was fabulous.
I'm surprised people don't do that still. That's a great move.
Maybe they do. They're called squatters now, I guess.
Yeah. Now they don't leave.
No, but I would. But I didn't put graffiti on the walls or
right.
anything.
Now they do that.
I would even make the bed, so it doesn't look like anybody was there.
And you still have that car?
I still have it. Yeah, only 2 payments left. Yeah, I still got it. Yeah.
Danica Patrick, you know who that is.
Yes, of course.
The race car
right.
driver. She was asked recently on a podcast, what type of engine do you have? And she said she has no idea. And they said, well, is it? And she said,
engine in what?
In her race car. And she said she was unaware of whether it was an 8 or 12 cylinder. She knows that little. She knows as much as I do about cars. Yet she drives them.
You mean as little as you do?
As little as I do. Yeah. And she drives them in the Indy 500.
Well, athletes are always athletes. I remember Walter Payton. You remember him?
Sure.
Okay. Walter Payton was not a car guy at all. Knew nothing about it. But he was a gregarious fellow and a nice guy, but a good athlete. And we became friends with him. He said, hey, you should do the Toyota Grand Prix with us. Yeah, that'd be fun, Okay. So he comes in, and within one day of with the professional driver, he's matching the track record.
Wow.
Because he's an athlete.
Yeah.
His hand-eye coordination is unbelievable. I mean,
that's wild.
That quick. Break, turn wheel, step, shift, boom, boom. I mean, he picked it up because he's an athlete,
Right. But, I also, in the same podcast I was listening to, I didn't know this. Maybe you know this because you're a big car guy. They only use in NASCAR when they do the the Pocono 500 or Pocono 500.
The Pocono. I don't know the Pocono.
Down in Florida.
That's with Carmen Miranda. The Pocono. Yeah. Oh, the Pocono. That at the Pocono.
They use the engine for one race, then they take it out and send it back to Toyota.
Oh, they tear
Ford.
it down.
One race.
Well, they're that hard on the engines. I mean,
that's wild.
That's what it is. Again, everything is wild.
That's wild.
I know this with Tim.
Yeah.
That's right.
But it's actually the opposite.
It is. That's wild, Jay.
That's good. Because Tim will be a huge thing. That's not wild. But then, so then he put mustard on a hamburger. That's wild.
But it's not expensive to tear down. And I mean, those. Well,
yes,
guys,
it's a hugely expensive part. And drag racing, they blow up everything. They completely tear the engine out. It's $10,000-$20,000 a race.
But to have, once you're done with the race, you get, if you win, you get the milk and the flag and the check and everything. That's just the start for your pit crew. They got to now tear that car apart and have it ready in 4 days.
Yeah. Well, welcome to show business. Yeah,
that's unbelievable.
Yeah. Well,
not wild, but unbelievable.
Yeah.
Can you stay with us?
Yeah, I'm right here. I'm not going anywhere.
All right. What's going on with the news?
Conway Show on demand on the iHeartRadio app. Now, you can always hear us live on KFI AM 640, 4 to 7 p.m. Monday through Friday, and anytime on demand on the iHeartRadio app.